So, guys, welcome back to Lootcast. We're going to do our loot table. It's an open forum where we just talk about everything that's gone by in the last week or so since we've seen each other. It's actually been
a long time.
I mean, real talk, it's been a little while since we've been in front of the mic, so
feels good.
It's good to get it all out and get it recorded so that you guys can enjoy it. As always, this is The Taco, your host. I'm joined by our very special guest,
Mike the Comic Guy.
And as always, we've got...
It's fine, just cut me off.
Yep,
I don't need a name.
Fuck yeah, we're passing EB0. We've got our good friend
DJ Drips.
and
Safe K.
and that one fucking EB0 guy who's here too.
I'm here twice.
Yeah.
There's two of them? I didn't know he was a twin.
So,
How you doing, rental car?
yeah. Actually, I packed up today. So, the last time we recorded...
Did you hit a car when you backed up?
No, I didn't hit
I remember you
anybody.
hit my car when you backed up.
Did I hit your...
a
Oh, it
very
was
long
back
time
at
ago.
Jared's, wasn't it?
Yes, it
Oh my
was.
god.
Oh, wow, that was
That was
awesome.
awesome.
Euphemism?
That was good.
No, it was
Yeah.
not a euphemism. It was literally.
I have a story I'd like to tell
Well,
about your
I'm gonna
driving
finish my
skills.
story,
Please,
so-
Yeah,
go
let-
right ahead.
Fucking...
We're talking over each other with a bad podcast.
Hey, look at me! Look at me!
Let's do this.
We
So,
are many, you are but one.
the last time that we recorded, I had recently got a new car, and I had pulled into Casey's really fast because I saw an open parking spot, and I saw Mike right next to it, and I was like, oh, I'm going to go see Mike. I didn't check to see if I was over the line or crooked or anything like that, because I was just excited to get started and, to get into it.
So.
And we go to get, in between casts, we go to get some eats, and these fuckers are just like letting loose on this mystery rental car that's parked like an ass.
I knew exactly whose car it was because
to
we had
be
already
fair.
seen it, but I just let them riff on it because it was hilarious.
Yeah, it was. I started. It was like, wow, someone parked like an asshole.
Yeah. But and then it just became it stuck, and they just started making fun of me because it's got cameras on it. It's supposed to help me back up and some shit like that. But I didn't back up. I could understand if I had backed up and it was like, yeah, I did it. I tried my best, but I didn't fucking try. So fuck all you guys.
No, I think you've been rental car enough that you can upgrade, not quite to taco, but Mexican
No.
hand sandwich.
Mexican handsome. That sounds more sexually euphemistic.
That sounds like something you pay
is.
for a lot for at Tijuana.
Let's just say there's extra guac.
Is
Two
this at the
stories.
back of the Donkey Show place, or
I think
No,
we're
this
done.
is the-
I think
the
we're
opener.
done. Let's just bleep all that out.
Two stories about Taco and his driving. When you started driving, you didn't have a real license.
Didn't. So,
You fucking cheated them
I
with an
didn't
old
cheat 'em.
lady. You walked up with your paperwork, and this old woman who's clearly been doing her job for too long just handed you a license.
so
You didn't take your test
So what
or
happened-
anything.
So what happened was I went to the DMV and I took my permit test and I passed it, with flying colors because
Yeah.
it's easy shit. And then me and our friend AJ and I are going to the license bureau to get the actual permit license. And I go in there and I sit down, I hand her my stuff, and we start talking about. I don't even remember, it was so long
Smoozing
ago.
her over.
It appears that way now because I had no idea. But we were talking, and then by the end of it, she gives me the license, and I go out to the car with AJ, and I'm looking at it, and it says driver's license on it, and I was like, "Hey AJ, does yours say driver's license on it or permit license?" Because I thought it would say permit on it. And he pulls his out, and we look at it, and sure enough, they're exactly the same. And I'm just like, I've got my driver's license. I never even had to take the test.
Yep.
And I've got my driver's license.
wow?
Like kids are on that road, man.
Exactly. And, well, I'm just to back it up, I've never had a single accident claim or anything
Tell
like
that to the missing
This
sixth
is
member
true.
of the
You
Loot
notice
Cast.
the
Right.
lawyering he's just done because he said claim.
Yeah.
He is not accident free because there's one innocent Taco Bell sign that was taken out by him.
It wasn't
we
a
are
sign.
sitting. No,
It
no,
was not
I'm
a
sorry,
sign.
you're right.
Don't say that I took out like an entire 12-inch steel pole or something like that with my car, my little Cavalier.
It's the box that you speak into. We're
the,
sorry.
the
No, it's-
drive-through menu.
Yes, the
Wow.
drive-through menu.
Wow.
He's parked. He's parked.
I'm not parked. I'm stopped.
He stopped.
You
Okay,
need
he
to get
stopped.
your facts straight, dude.
I'm sorry, I'm so excited about how majorly you fucked up about this. He is sitting at the thing. He's ordered his food. and he starts to go forward, and he panics and screams, "How do I stop?" And he hits it. He hits the sign and bends it in, and then he just casually. We're all just sitting there like, did that just happen?
That's why
And
we
he
have
just-
permits.
He just casually just backs up and goes to the side like nothing happened, and we're laughing, and we decide we all stop. We just stop and we get the food and we leave. And they never fix the sign.
No,
So is it too late to turn you in for vigilante justice?
no,
But-
it is. I think the statute of limitations on that
5
is
years
pretty.
later, that sign is still broken.
I went back there later, I think probably that year, and I was like, "Hey guys, did you notice somebody hit your sign? Like somebody hit your?" And they're like, "Yeah, we saw that. We didn't see who did it, but that's crazy, asshole." And I was just like, "Yeah, it's crazy, asshole."
And they just never fixed it.
No, it's good.
They just resigned themselves, like, this is life now.
What DJ was talking about was we were all at a friend's house, and the parking was cramped.
Yes, it was.
It was very cramped. Some of us were on the lawn, and some of us were in the drive. And unfortunately, here where we live, all of the drainage is right next to the side of the road, and it's extremely deep drainage ditches. So there's no way to actually get out of the lawn without going through the parking lot or the drive-through or driveway.
Driveway. There you go.
It's basically a moat.
Yeah, basically, it's a moat, it's just unfilled and no crocodiles. And
Rip off.
and it's I've done it so many times before where you just kind of back through your friends' cars and around them trying to get out because everybody's parked together and you need to leave. But this time I accidentally hit DJ's, and it was just shortly after we had met for the first time.
I don't think you hit it. It was more just like kind of a graze. You just left a little paint. And was
yeah.
maybe a dent.
They were both older cars. I apologized.
Excuse me.
But
I didn't give a shit.
Yeah, I didn't give a shit about my car either.
How many bodies have you left in your wake?
I don't leave the bodies. That's the key. You put them in the trunk.
You fuckers help them too, don't you?
Actually, fun story, he's ridden in the trunk before.
Oh,
and found it quite
yeah.
comfortable.
It was very comfortable.
We're all piled in the car.
This
We
is-
ran out of
Does
spaces.
he want to know how the corpse is doing?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he was testing it
Yeah,
out.
exactly.
So, yeah, we put him in the trunk, and I think you actually fell asleep.
I probably did.
Is that premeditation?
It was good. I don't know. Shut the fuck up.
I said, was it because it's comfortable or because there was exhaust?
I love the
Why did you
Trunk.
sleep in the trunk?
Well,
We were out of
we were
space.
out of. We had so many
Oh.
friends. We only had one car. I mean, a better story would be AJ's truck, because he was the
Gandhi?
first to get Gandhi was the name of the truck. It was an old Mazda something or another.
Did it go on a fast?
No, it didn't go fast actually at
Don't
all.
salt from the ocean. That's
But
what it is.
he was the first one to get a driver's license and the first one to get a car. So when all of us would want to go somewhere, because everybody would want to go, then we'd have to pile into this. Maybe could fit 3 people in the cab,
Yeah.
and nobody wanted to get in the
3
bed.
Asians in the cab.
Racist. But
What's the time on this? Like 5 minutes in? We're
Yeah.
already racist? Okay.
Well, they're smaller. and
All
more
of this
efficient.
recording.
Yeah.
So 3 people in the front of the cab tops, but we fit 5, 6 maybe, and we did that by lifting the back of the seat just enough so that somebody could slip back. Somebody being me could slip behind it, and that's the maybe 2-3 inch space.
Yeah.
And between the seat and the back of the cab where you could
Yep.
store all your stuff. And I would just hang back there, in a diagonal angle
Yep.
with my
Like a
head
gun.
hanging over,
It's like you had a gun back there, we just put him back there.
with my head hanging over the seat, and I just chill back there while everybody else sat in the seats.
I want a
Wow.
taco gun.
It was those were high school days. They were enjoyable.
How'd you guys survive?
We don't know.
It-
There was a lot of other stuff that we did.
You left many behind.
Fucking. How did we? And I'm gonna not say the name of the small town that I grew up in, but fuck, like
How did he and small town population?
DJ used to live with me in that place, and there nothing
You used to live there too?
to do.
Yeah, when I moved out here, I moved out here first with my mom. Then first place out was rooming with him and another friend.
Double wide.
And
We had a trailer.
The small town is actually where my dad moved when my parents got divorced when I was 7. So I visited a lot until I moved here finally
That's
when I
crazy.
was 20.
That's so
Yeah,
crazy.
and then
So
we
you
never.
probably know my
Statistical
brothers, maybe.
No, he didn't go to school. I know your
Yeah.
brother.
He didn't go to
Like
school.
ever?
Was that racist?
There.
So racist.
We were already out of college when we moved in together.
But you didn't say that. You said he didn't go to school.
Well, fine. Take it like that. Take it like that, asshole. See how it goes.
Are you a power bottom?
No,
Not starting that conversation again.
You are the corn cob.
So,
Oh my god.
Forever.
just a tangent. I went to a little shindig today after work. It was for some coworkers. He moved into his house today, and it was his group of friends there, and I was the odd one out, and that's always the worst. I mean, in general, to be the odd one out. But it reminded me of how we used to be in high school, or if we got all of our high school friends together, because they were just like we were talking earlier about comfort zones. They were just like calling each other, bitches and faggots and shit like
I
that.
was about to say bitches, man. That's raw.
Bitches, raw.
Bitches and hoes don't exist.
Yeah.
That is much different than the dining experience I had last night, where we randomly went to my dad's place in that small town, and like they were having. My dad did a crawfish boil, which I'd never had before. It was fucking delicious. But like they had some of their friends from church, and then parts of their family from Canada. I'm pretty sure Pentecostal, like Prince Edward Island.
Holy shit, that is the whitest thing I've ever heard.
They could literally be wasps and not be that way.
And they're like,
Wow.
oh, we don't have this, or we don't have that. We've never had biscuits and gravy. And like,
Oh my god.
How the fuck do you not
I mean,
have biscuits and
Is
gravy?
that,
Not
they
to
have poutine.
Yes!
Man.
They have cheese curds on fucking...
If that's not American, I don't know what
potatoes.
is.
That's. I mean, not to place us, geographically, but fucking biscuits and
aggressive.
gravy. Am I right?
We're on the
am I
we're in
right?
the
Biscuits
Buffalo
and
Bible
gravy?
Belt.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna figure it out eventually. We're gonna slip
Oh yeah.
at some point.
If you catch us slipping, there's a prize for you. Come visit us in person.
Yeah.
We'll give you the coordinates in a local hiking trail, and you can come visit us.
So is that at Wesley's house? Because you got the basement. Is that what we're doing?
I've never been in the basement at Wesley's.
I haven't.
well, you
Wait,
will if someone
no.
reports us.
Like, are we talking like the mansion?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
not the
'cause-
mansion. Oh
Yeah.
Jesus. Oh, we could do it there too. Yeah.
hell, we have an expert living in the building, so
Yeah, we do. That's another story that should be told. But
So when are we going to start the Lucas commune?
I will move in.
just as soon
Well-
as we get the surplus of Kool-Aid in.
I think the three of you are old enough to remember the weird ads on the back of comic books and magazines.
Shit, yeah.
Like you cut them out and you mail them in. I figure we do that with like amulets or something that heal you or whatever, and that will how we get people to the commune.
It'll be electromagnetic bracelets.
Yes,
Oh,
that's-
yes.
Those
Those
are kind
ones.
of already been done. We need something new.
Yeah, but we could just brand
Electromagnetic
them.
cock rings.
There we go. Well, now
You
we
just
can't
went
sell
there.
to women.
In 3
You
community
could.
sizes.
You could sell it to women for their men.
Clit rings?
Yeah, or like,
Clit buttons.
like a Nuva ring.
You're doing something with your hands over there. And
Like
I
a-
don't know what it
like-
is.
Can
like a
you
Nuva
get
ring?
yours out?
Like a Nuva
They
ring.
shove it up in there. So
Well, I was trying to be all doctory about it.
Like a corn
I
cob?
wasn't.
So what Casey is saying here is that we take the aforementioned cock ring and we insert it into the vagina, into the cervix, and it just stays there. Like,
Yeah, like a Nuva ring.
like a Nuva ring.
There's a method to my madness.
The only thing here is that it doesn't actually vibrate. Like we're just talking about a bracelet here.
Yeah.
We're talking about putting a bracelet inside some woman's reproductive organs.
It will cause sepsis, whatever.
That's only for the weak. You have to be
This is a
Lucas,
Spartan
We're in
society.
your junk.
brand them.
Put us in your junk.
You can brand them. Our logo shouldn't be. A
Are we
treasure
branding
chest.
our followers? You mean
We
like
can
branding them?
once
Just
they're on the
our,
commune?
strange sexual products, like Luke Cast Viagra gum. You can
Yeah.
chew while you do.
Chew while
I love
you
it.
do.
I love it.
Did you hear about? Speaking of Viagra, did you hear about the Chinese vodka?
But no.
They found I think it was like 3,500 bottles of Chinese vodka that was laced with Viagra,
Oh.
and they had to shut down that
Segways are weird.
vodka factory.
So did they put the Viagra in to like counteract whiskey dick?
I don't know, but
Because
I heard it on the radio.
Horny.
Yeah, I heard it on the radio, and they were saying just that. Like some Chinese men would be extremely disappointed when they get their next batch of vodka, and it doesn't, perform the same way.
That's the most effective screwdriver I've ever had.
So when you call the doctor about the erection for 5 hours, does he just like high five you and then you hang up? Is that why you call him?
I think they have to remove some of the blood at that point. Yeah. I mean,
dick.
your face right now.
I'm gonna stick.
They give you a baseball and B. Arthur magazine.
Yeah.
Should I just go on pretending that instead he just says, "Yay, good job," and then he hangs up?
Yeah. We could pretend that
Erection for
you.
4 hours is not a good thing.
Head
Do
cannon.
you remember high school?
Oh
was
yes.
was that just me? It's just like,
Oh yes.
oh come on, I'm trying to. Look,
Like, I need to take notes, man. Can't be thinking about
yes,
this
I
right
know
now.
Brittany has a spaghetti screen strap, but damn, just leave me the fuck alone. My penis is a supervillain.
So, to get back to the story, I go over to this coworker's house, and they're all sitting around, doing their own thing. One of them's playing Dota 2 because he's a fuck.
I'm gonna stop
The
you
rest
right
of
there.
no, fuck
Nope,
you.
whatever.
You're gay. It's the rest of them are playing Smash Brothers on the Wii U, and I definitely wanted to get in, but again, I was the odd one out.
You didn't want to crush him.
Well, no, I haven't played in years, so
I can train you.
I wish I could, but I don't have the time for it. So it wasn't until 2 shots in of whiskey that I got up the courage to to get into this and start playing.
To
I
finally
made
play
it pretty
Dota 2
far.
like a real man.
No, fuck you. I won't get into this conversation. That's not for this format. But I did get pretty far. It was out of a group of 5 because now they allow eight players.
People.
So it was out of group 5, and I got to 2nd or 3rd on it. And for not playing for years, I think it was pretty good. I played Toon Link. It was my 2nd.
Toon Link's good.
Yeah, Toon Link's pretty good.
I could talk at length about Smash Brothers.
Yeah, so we'll avoid that.
I have to say, one of the things that someone's told me that makes me the most proud gaming-wise is the other day, my roommate who's lived with me for about a month told me, I play Super Smash Brothers, but you guys intimidate me with how good you are.
Yeah.
And it's like...
No, they were pretty good level. Like, they were a little above casual players. They knew what they were doing.
Did they play with items?
Yeah, they were playing with items. All guns, though, is all they were playing for.
Filthy.
See those guys over there, Bill? Casuals. All of them.
I'm just saying, it was for fun. It wasn't a tournament or anything like that.
What's
so,
fun?
Exactly. So, shut your mouth. That's why you play Dota 2.
That's why you play Dota 2, yeah.
Boom! Let's just move on, because we'll start a flame war with this.
Can we go back to
If you
talking
want to
about
hear
my penis?
more about this and hear them be dumb, then go ahead and tell us you support a new format
Yes.
called Debate Me.
Or just let us know your preference down below in the comments.
Oh, believe me, you don't have to ask the internet.
Oh, yeah, I
They
know.
will.
But I'm just saying.
If you could please give us your commentary and opinions. I know that's pretty rare on the internet.
Yeah.
But
Please don't be bashful either. Please just tell us exactly how you feel.
We're not.
Yeah, we're not bashful. You can tell.
I don't know. I haven't checked your nature yet. So
Oh, I see what you did there.
are you a
See
special sweeper?
What you did there.
Pokemon! A very special sweeper.
Speaking of Pokemon, hey Zach, do you have your DS?
It's currently being used to transfer
Yeah.
Pokemon.
So all you had to say was no, and you forfeit again.
I brought mine. I EV trained.
Oh.
I searched for TMs.
Mike
and
is my
shit.
champion.
You're gonna
What?
put Mike in?
We're gonna battle.
I think we
He's
will
my
later. In the interim.
If you lose, we're not friends anymore.
Wow, shit just got real.
So I'm
Just
about to
gonna-
this guy just punch him in the neck and win.
Yes. Whatever it takes.
Just gonna check out if you guys are gonna be talking about Pokemon.
Got real.
I don't know shit about new Pokemon.
So, started thinking of my penis as a supervillain, like a really bad supervillain, like some sort of Doctor Doom. So he's in his dark lair, plotting and gathering his power, rising up to launch his master plan, only to be shot down by the Five-Finger Justice League that is my hand, and to rise again later.
The things that
This
you
has
write down.
been Deep Thoughts
Yeah.
with Mike the Comic Guy.
this is on my
demand.
notes app.
I demand that you do little 30-second vignettes that we will release.
I'm okay with that. I need to find my box that I had at the time where I worked at a convenience store clerk, because I had this special pen that, when written on the register paper, once it dried, looked like dried blood. So yeah, I did that wasn't a great job.
Well, that's been our cast. As always, this is the Taco and our very special guest.
Mike the Comic Guy.
EB0.
DJ Drips.
Space Case.
Thanks for
Indian
listening,
giver.
guys, and we'll catch you
Whoa.
guys later.
Ending on racism. God damn.
Native American gifter.
You're terrible.
Stop.
I'm a
Stop.
product of my time.
Stop it. So, Mike, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You ready to tell the people about what we got for them?
I am. We interrupt your regular loot table, or I guess we just end the loot table,
Yeah.
to tell about some exciting new content that I had procured. We're leaving that in, aren't we?
Yeah, it's all gonna be in.
Okay.
So we've got some micro content that our very own Mike the Comic Guy has put together for us. We've got a loot stock about comics, where you're focusing on Transformers, right?
Yep, the Transformers post Death of Optimus Prime and the IDW comics is some really, really great things. Cannot emphasize enough how awesome those comics are. And my job is to spread good comics, so
Yeah.
I decided to kind of tell you guys about it. And it's kind of a taste of what some micro content I hope to bring forth from Loot's Talks, let Loot's Talk About, Loot's Talk 2.
Yeah. So, and then other than that, we've got a super special interview, little interview with Cullen Bunn.
Yep, Cullen Bunn. And you'll learn more about him in the interview. He's a really, really great guy that I've seen at many Comic Cons, and he's, depending on schedule, we hope to do a more longer form interview with him later, but I managed to snag a few words with him at a convention.
Yeah. So, without further ado, here's Mike the Comic Guy talking about Transformers and interviewing Cullen Bunn.
Yeah.
Hey guys, this is Mike the Comic Guy with Loot's Talk About Comics, and today we are going to talk about the IDW Transformers series. They've put out a lot of good stuff for quite a while, actually. They've had the property for a bit, from the Last Stand of the Wreckers miniseries, which was very, very well respected, very well done, to the not so new, but the ongoing Transformers Robots in Disguise and Transformers More Than Meets the Eye. They were twin companion titles that took place after the War of Cybertron was won between the Autobots and the Decepticons. And the Autobots won because, they're the good guys, but things aren't so black and white now. In Transformers Robots in Disguise, it takes place on the now reborn Cybertron in Iacon City, I believe, which is actually just Metroplex. And people are just kind of living inside Metroplex now. And who's in charge? It starts off with a trifecta of people, of representatives from the three major factions. For Autobots, we have Bumblebee, who's taking over as leader of the Autobots. The Decepticons is led by Starscream, which is a pretty controversial choice overall. And Metalhawk is representative of the Nails, which is the derogatory term that stands for non-affiliated intelligent life forms. Basically anyone who is non-combatants, who wasn't in the area, any cybertronic life form who wasn't an Autobot or Decepticon, or Maximal, or Predacons, or what have you. They're the ones who are like, these robots were fucking up our galaxy, and now we have to live with it, even though it's been happening for like a millennia. Which you kind of come to find out that they've been fighting for a long-ass time. Longer than human history. It's pretty insane. But that one is really interesting. Lots of political intrigue and lots of interesting characters who weren't who you thought they were, who are different than you thought they were. But it's really interesting to see those motivations. And Starscream actually came out to be one of my favorite characters in that series. The other series, which is the one I like the best, More Than Meets the Eye, is basically in that post-Cybertronian War, Cybertron, the Hot Rod and a bunch of other Cybertronians did not want to stand around for the political intrigue. They missed the adventure that came with the war and decided that they needed to find the lost Knights of Cybertron, the legendary warriors, kind of like our Knights of the Round, King Arthur's Round Table. So they go on this adventure that's really reminiscent of the Odyssey mythology, where they go on misadventures, get sidetracked, go different quests, but really insanely well done. The characterization is great. These characters were so good, I forgot they turned into robots and cars and trucks and planes and laser pistols and telescopes and crap, and just kind of found myself really liking the characters. They have some really, really great ones, from Cyclonus to Drift, and like just so many more that I didn't really know as characters before, but I now recognize them in the toy aisle. I'm like, oh, I remember that one time they did that with the thing and did the guy and the explosions, and everyone laughed. And it was actually really, really great. The characterization is so in-depth that you kind of start to notice that a couple of characters are pretty close together, like really close. And it was slightly, I guess, a little bit controversial, except the fandom just really rallied behind it, because when you have a race that's predominantly male gendered, to the point where genders don't really matter, when they have pair bonding, like for life, when two people really care about each other, it's kind of natural that it would be, like, it's not like a homosexual relationship, because I don't think they have sex. That's never been addressed, but there are a few characters that have a significant other in the truest sense of that term. And it's really fascinating realizing that, how subtly it was put and how naturally it was put. That wasn't a gimmick. It wasn't anything like that. It was just like, oh, okay, that makes complete sense for those guys that really get along that way. But that's like not a major thing of it. That's just there, and was really impressed by it. But the comic itself is really great. It's got humor, it's got heart, it's got adventure, it's got stakes, and it's really, really awesome. And they occasionally come together into a bigger event, and we'll cross over with a spin-off as well. Most recently, they did the Combiner Wars, which was really kind of cool. Like, especially since the Gestalts or Combiners from the Transformers were some of the best Transformer toys. They were the ones where a bunch of robots came together to form a giant robot like Devastator or Computron or Superion, and it followed the lots of little threads picked up through the series about the matrix of combination, and I may be getting that wrong. It's been a bit since I've read it, and it's just really, really awesome. But the Starscream gets a hold of this and decides that he needs more combiners, because combiners before this were really chaotic, really dangerous, because it's hard to get all those minds together and working as one. Devastator was the best example, the most stable example, but even then, they have to have a strong-willed leader to carry it through, where some of them may not work well at all, where they just completely lose themselves, and they are this new entity, this new form. So it's really interesting, the psychology of that, and they also involves contacting the lost colonies of Cybertron that were dispersed like before the main conflict, well before the main conflict of the rise of the Decepticons and the Autobots and such. It's just the sense of history and mythology is really amazing, and the sense of adventure is really cool. And it ties in with the toys occasionally, which is really awesome, because you have those familiar designs and these really great characters. All in all, definitely gives it a thumbs up. Go find it, read it. You won't regret it. It has Mike the Comic Guy's official seal of approval, especially the More Than Meets the Eye. Though, honestly, IDW has been killing it all over the place with that, and the Ninja Turtle franchise, which we'll talk about again, is spectacular. I'm really glad that they have these properties and continue to do really good things with them. There's a lot of caring, a lot of heart behind those properties. So if you're a fanboy like me and many others that has a special heart in your place for something that's more than meets the eye, for something that those awesome toys that were part puzzle, part action figure, part vehicle. This really does do it justice, and there's a lot to get into, a lot to care about. Pick it up. Don't be afraid to pick up in the middle of an issue of an arc. That's one of the biggest sins in comics today, is the comic goer, that the reader is afraid to start something in the middle. You can always go back. You can always catch up on Wikipedia, or they'll use context clues to fill you in. Every comic can be someone's first comic. Definitely read it. But thanks for listening. Go ahead and comment and tell us what you think.
All right, this is Mike the Comic Guy with Lootcast. It's Loot's Talk with Cullen Bunn.
Hey, how are you?
Not bad. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. Cullen Bunn's been a Missouri staple at the local comic conventions, and especially to the little town of Springfield. It comes pretty much every one. It does some great work in some of the top books that you've read today, including Magneto, Sinestro, and he's been kind enough to take a little time to answer a few questions. What's your favorite book to write?
Oh, that's a tough one. But, I love writing, The Six Guns, a book I've been doing, for 4 or 5 years now. We're getting ready to wrap it all up with issue 50. So that's kind of it's nice to have a book like that I have been able to bring from the beginning to its ending, where it's supposed to end, all on my own. So that ranks pretty high.
And that is awesome. That Six Gun has Mike the Comic Guy's official seal of approval. It's a great Western fantasy book, just really truly amazing, and Brian Hurt does amazing art on it as well. Really top quality book. The other question I had is, it seems there's a really a trend of Marvel bringing in independent writers and artists that have proven themselves, and them gaining enough steam, which you certainly have, to go ahead and head their own event. Do you have one of those in you? Is that something that's brewing right now?
That's a tough question to answer. There's some things I can't tell you about, but yeah, I think it's definitely something I would do when the opportunity arises.
Awesome. Can't wait for